Welcome to Electro-Funk 101. Now, some of you know this as breakdancing music, others may know it as street jams, or pack jams if you were a skater, or maybe just plain old jams. Some of it is really early hip hop stuff. Some of it is kind of progressive experimental music, some of it's R&B, but all of it is incredibly electronic. And the BPM is usually pretty high on this stuff. And we're looking at probably, I don't know, from maybe 1980-ish, 81, through probably maybe the mid-80s is when this stuff was a thing. And, breakdancing is kind of where a lot of us found this stuff in the first place. This is one of the K-Tel breakdance albums. It had a poster in it that showed you how to breakdance. We're not going to talk about this one much because it only has a few tracks on here by the original artist. The rest of it is, by somebody else. There's a lot of instructional stuff on here, but I thought it was fun just to share. K-Tel got into the game when that stuff got real popular. But let's go ahead and kick it off with Midnight Star. This one is called Freakazoid. So check this song out. Midnight Star, Freakazoid. So what we got next? I gotta put my glasses on here. Oh yeah, this one's really good. This one is Barkays, Freakshow on the Dance Floor. Now, Barkays are an old R&B band, been around since the 70s. Shouldn't say they're old, but this is not a new band. But this was on the Break-In soundtrack, along with a lot of other cool tunes that we may be talking about in here today. But yeah, they breakdance to this. It's electro-funk as far as I'm concerned. But it does go deeper. How about Daz Band? Joystick. Yeah, more R&B, but this definitely qualified as electro-funk stuff. There were other songs that the Daz Band did, like Let It Whip and things like that, that you could put into the mix. But this stuff has loose rules on it. It's kind of a hot mess, like some of the other categories that we've talked about. We've got Houdini. This one's Big Mouth, but the big one for electro-funk was called Freaks Come Out at Night. That one was really cool, and I can't find a copy of it. But I found a copy of Big Mouth for you to look at. So Houdini. Rap, but yeah, definitely electro-funk skater stuff. That was a lot of fun. Used to play that at the rink a lot. We talked about Trenier and Friends when we did the Freestyle video, and I said they were more electro-funk or electro than that. They were kind of pre-Latin hip-hop freestyle, but they definitely fall into this category. Trenier. This one is I'll Be All You Ever Need, right here. Got a couple copies of that. We also have this one. What do we got? Oh, I Know You Love Me, Trenier. That's a good song. Look these up. They're Playing Our Song. This is a great Trenier track. If you want to check out Trenier, one Trenier song, try this one. They're Playing Our Song. It's really, really nice. And you can tell where, freestyle was kind of influenced by this kind of stuff right here. In fact, you consider that freestyle. Oh. Did we talk about How Can We Be Wrong? I don't know if we did or not, but here's a copy of How Can We Be Wrong. That's another really good Trenier song. And we're going to go back to this one here that we've talked about before. Shannon, Let the Music Play. This falls in a lot of categories. It's freestyle, Latin hip-hop, R&B, kind of hip-hop in a way, but this qualifies as kind of electro-funk as well. Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel with White Lines, Don't Do It. This is a remix from, I think, the late 80s maybe, but the regular mix is on here too, and I thought it was a cool picture to show you. But yeah, this was definitely rap, but yeah, fell in this category for sure. There was a lot of stuff like that. Alright, Twilight 22. One side is Siberian Nights. That's a really good song. This was the big one over here. On the flip side, Electric Kingdom by Twilight 22. Twilight 22, Electric Kingdom. Look this one up. This is really good. I like these guys. This is the LA Dream Team. And they're rappers. But this is so electro-funk and sequence and pack jam. This is such good stuff. Check out the LA Dream Team. Some really good songs on here would be, let's see, The Dream Team Is in the House is good. Nursery Rhymes is pretty good. Hollywood Boulevard. Rockberry Jam is a big one. This is a really good album. Rockberry Jam, I think, is probably my favorite one on here. But this is just a good album front to back. Give it a listen. LA Dream Team. Kings of the West Coast. Good album. This one here, I think, is kind of pre-Electro-Funk, but it influenced Electro-Funk sounds because there was a lot of new sounds on this. So just give it a listen for fun. This is KANO with I'm Ready. This is the album, the whole album. But the song on here, I'm Ready, is the one that you should listen to. And big influence on Electro-Funk, maybe a year or two later. This came out in like 80 or 81. We can't talk about electronic music without talking about Kraftwerk. Tour de France was the Kraftwerk song that kind of broke through into electro hip-hop stuff. It's a good tune. I think it was on Breakin' 2. Electric Boogaloo, the song turned up. But yeah, they breakdanced the Tour de France. It's a pretty cool song. It's been remixed several times. There's some great remixes of this out here too. Out there as well. Sorry. Okay, George Kranz with Trommetrans, as they say in Germany. Here they call it Dendara. This is that weirdo experimental German stuff that for some weird reason we embraced in the hip-hop electro community over here in the States. Great tune. Great song. I got a couple of different copies of that. Okay, this is the album, Jam on Revenge from Nucleus, but Jam on It was the song that was definitely Electro-Funk. Jam on It. You guys probably know this one. Yeah, we know. You right? Yeah, okay, you know that one. This is the Beat Street soundtrack. There's a lot of history with this one with me. I had this at the first drink I worked at. I played this one a lot. First track on side one is Beat Street Breakdown by Grandmaster Flashy Melly Mel, but there are other tunes on here that are pretty good. There are tunes that are not on here that are really cool, that are kind of electro early, I guess, hip-hop, like Sequence Funk You Up turned up in the movie. But yeah, the Beat Street soundtrack. We're getting into progressive electronic music here with The Art of Noise. This one you hear a lot on The Quiet Storms. It's a cool song. It's called Moments in Love. It is a slow song. I'm giving it a considerable mention. The one that you want to listen to is Beatbox. There's Diversion 1 and Diversion 2. I'm a Diversion 2 guy. But this is one of the songs that when I heard it, it blew me away. This is a British act. This is Trevor Horn. A lot of it's the Fairlight. And they were breakdancing to this. They were playing it on R&B stations. It was just kind of an unlikely crossover track considering, where they're from and what their other music sounds like. Another one they did that was really hot is called Close to the Edit. And a real treat, if you ever get a chance, is to listen to the EP called Into Battle with the Art of Noise. It's very cool. It's kind of the album they did before they released the Who's Afraid Of album, an EP. It's very good. It's got some interesting stuff on it. Check that out if you get a chance. But yeah, this is really good. Beatbox. And just for fun, try Diversion 2. It's my favorite. This is Laid Back with Sunshine Reggae. But Sunshine Reggae isn't the track I want to talk about. I want to talk about the flip side. And if you look really close, the flip side of this one is a little track called White Horse. This is cool. This is what Electro-Funk sounds like right here. Laid Back, White Horse. It's around the back, you can see it. It's the flip side. You kind of see it. There you go. We talked about JJ Fad. This is a late entry. This came a little later on. This was produced by Arabian Prince, who was definitely a freestyle Electro-Funk kind of guy. But this is kind of where Miami Bass started. This is what it first sounded like. And I wanted to show off this other album cover because I got two different versions of it. So yeah, JJ Fad with Supersonic. It qualifies. Look at this. Hashim with AlNafish. AlNafish is a jam. If you don't know AlNafish, give it a listen. Herb Pump Powers cut this. He's the guy who mastered this, Herbie Jr. It's fantastic. Give this song a listen. What do we have here? Oh, yeah, this is really hot. Paul Hardcastle, Rainforest. Well, Paul Hardcastle, you may know him today. He may turn up on some of your smooth jazz stuff with your record pools. He does once in a while. And that's kind of his thing, electronic music, but it's more jazz oriented. But this one, Rainforest, is so hot. I still play this at almost every event I do, kind of between dinner and dancing as a warm-up track. It's from '84, I believe. Yeah, Rainforest, Paul Hardcastle. The original version of that. There are remixes of it I wouldn't pay much mind to. And considerable mention, this is a little later on, would be Paul Hardcastle with 19. You guys may know this one. It's got some Vietnam documentary vocals in it, sampled in it, and spliced in the song. It's an interesting song. And this one did really well. Maybe in the mid to maybe later 80s, like 86, 87, this came out. It's pretty good. Herbie Hancock Rocket, electronic breakdance music. You guys probably know that one. Okay, this is the artist Freestyle. We talked about them in the Freestyle video. And this track is called The Party Has Just Begun. Great, great, great song. A lot of vocoders and things in that. Sped up vocals, kind of like Nucleus. What's this one? Oh, It's Automatic. This was another big song from Freestyler. And, yep, Don't Stop the Rock. This one is probably the favorite one from Freestyler. Don't Stop the Rock. Check this song out. Very Electro-Funk. All day long. The Egyptian Lover with Egypt, Egypt. This one is great. Full-on Electro-Funk. And the flip side has some really cool tracks too. The one that I really like is What is a DJ? So, yeah, The Egyptian Lover or Egyptian Lover with Egypt, Egypt. And just for fun, check out What is a DJ? You may have heard that one sampled in scratch sets. Let's talk about Debbie Deb. Debbie Deb, I'm Searching. All day long. Electro-Funk stuff. I got several here from her. What do we got? Oh, When I Hear Music, Debbie Deb. This is a big one. Look this one up. When I Hear Music, Debbie Deb. And Lookout Weekend. I think this was her biggest one right here. Lookout Weekend, Debbie Deb. Sounds very similar to When I Hear Music, but it's a great, great song for, I guess, the early to mid 80s. We thought it was great. It was kind of underground stuff. It wasn't mainstream stuff. This was weirdo stuff you heard at skating rinks, maybe really late night on urban radio. And last but not least, let's talk about African Bambaataa and Soul Sonic Force with Planet Rock. It should be hip-hop, and it is hip-hop, but it's very electronic, and it is incredibly cool stuff. African Bambaataa was one of those cats that was, in South Bronx with, everybody else, Grandmaster Flash and Kool Herc and all those guys, and he made it downtown, started hanging out with the post-punk new wave crew, and Soul Sonic Force was born, and this stuff was really cool. Very, very cool stuff. Very electronic, very 808. One of the greatest, electro freestyle tracks right here, Planet Rock. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. What did you think of my selections? Not a complete list, by the way. Just make that clear right away. This is just stuff that I pulled off of the shelf. You guys may know of other tracks. There are things that I was going to put in this stack that I didn't, like Malcolm McLaren's Buffalo Gals. It's really more of a hip-hop track, but it qualifies. It was played within the same sets. So, back then it's important to remember that this stuff wasn't necessarily a strict genre. It was loose. And this is the kind of stuff that you would all, play together. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be out of place if you played these together. They don't all sound the same, but you could break to them, you could pack jam to them. And yeah, it was fantastic stuff. A lot of fun back then. Very early freestyle, very early hip-hop stuff. Progressive electronic music. A real mixed bag. Hope you enjoyed the video. What are your picks? Let us know down here. If you subscribe or like the video or leave a comment, just know I really appreciate that. And I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Practice and enjoy.